I can envision a world that's very different, not only in terms of what management schools or business schools look like, but really in the way we think about and do management education very generally. And I'll try to keep it very straightforward. I think 10 years from now, management education as an activity, as a space, whatever you want to call it, is going to be quite a bit bigger, number one, quite a bit more diverse, number two, and then quite a bit more connected than it is today. Now,
schools connecting with each other?
More than that. I'll come back to the connected part, but let me start with the bigger part. Yeah. One of the things we know about management is that it's pervasive. It's everywhere. We all do it. You do it. I do it. We do it in the C-suite. We do it in small businesses, startups. We do it in the public sector and the not-for-profit sector. We all do management, and we all need better leaders. Right? So it's pervasive. And we all need to strategize. We need to market. We need to know finance. So more and more we recognize that the knowledge and the skills in business areas are important to learn. And those things are changing very quickly, as we know, that some would claim the half-life of a skill is less than 5 years now. But we also need to accomplish things through people. That's really what management is all about. It's not, it's quite a bit harder than programming a robot, right? Right, it's quite a bit harder. And it's something that we could all get better at, right? And it's something that, it's not only very hard, but it's getting harder in our world today. So when we think about those things, the pervasiveness of management, it's across age demographics. More and more, it's not just something that young people learn for the rest of their now and take it for the rest of their lives, but it's something that retiring people need to develop new skills in order to start that new business they've always wanted to do. So we think that management education will only grow moving forward. So it's going to be bigger, but it's also going to be more diverse. I mean, just think about the age demographic point I just raised, that at the same time we're educating 18 and 19-year-olds and 28-year-olds, we're educating 65-year-olds. Just think about the public. Just think about the public sector and the not-for-profit sector. More and more, the people that go to business schools, as you know, are the ones that are looking to make a difference in the world, not the ones that are looking to make a profit or line their pocket. Right? Yes. Right? So more and more diversity in the learner, more and more diversity in the providers. What we'll see 10 years from now is that we will be learning as much from the company we work with as the business school we go to. We'll be learning in a much more fluid environment. The distinction between formal learning and informal learning.
It's almost like apprenticeship.
Exactly. We'll be learning a lot more from our peers through online platforms, social learning, as you might call it. So not only the diversity in the learner, but the diversity in the providers of business education will only expand. So point number 2, more diversity in management education. Now the connectedness part, it's not just about business schools connecting with each other. Many of them do that. You know, the networks that have evolved in business education are quite extensive. But what we see is a lot more connection to practice. You know, so that this fluidity between what we learn on the job versus what we learn in the school, that boundary that separates them will begin to blur as we develop new ways of educating through simulations, through practice fields, as we begin to develop the space between practice and academia, but also between disciplines. You know, more and more what we're seeing is that business schools partnering with medical schools, with engineering schools, partnering with business in the not-for-profit sector to solve wicked societal problems.
Yeah, no, that makes so much sense.
Right, and when you think about that, in many ways, the types of providers that will evolve in the new decade, 10 years from now, are not only going to be more diverse, but many of them are going to begin to resemble social enterprises. They exist to make a difference in society, to create a profound change. I just read the other day, I tweeted it, about how the Imperial College Business School is working with the medical school, the Natural Sciences College, as well as the engineering school to tackle microbacterial resistance.
Yes, yeah.
Right. It's something that historically has been very important at Imperial College. There's a connection to a hospital where
Sure.
Antibacterial
Right.
medications were developed.
Nosocomial infections.
Yeah.
Which I once did a story on, and my inside name for it was not so comical infections. Very serious problem. I mean, when I did it, was 100,000 people a year die checking into a hospital and picking up a bug they didn't go in with. And yeah, and then bug, resistance is pervasive in hospitals.
Right. In management education, business schools, the creation of new ideas that happens under the roofs of business schools through not only individual professors, but co-creating it with business. That's the reality of 10 years from now in business education. Management education is going to be bigger, more diverse, and quite a bit more connected than ever before.